Good day. So for today's discussion, I will continue the exercise number 6. So kay naa pa man di ay sumpay to. So phylum Chordata. Chordates include animals. So animals with three important characters. During during all parts of their lives, namely, number one is a dorsal hollow nerve cord, and number two, a notochord and gel slats or gel pouches derived from the pharynx. So the notochord, from which the phylum derives its name, is a flexible roll of tissue located on the dorsal part of the body. So, immediately under the nerve cord. So, ingon alang sa chordates. So, dirita sa two primitive chordate. So, what is two primitive chordate? So, sorry. Two primitive chordate groups recognized by subphylum Oroidata, so subphylum Orocodita or Tunicata. The orochords or sea squelch and the subphylum Cephalochordata. So the cephalochords, lacellets, so in ani, sequets are marine filter feathers which anchor themselves to rocks. So the rocks anchor themselves to rocks. They have a pharynx that is used to strain water. So both notochord and nerve cord are lost in adult sea squelch. So in the last lancelets apetrus, all three chordates features are well represented. So for today's, the Cephalochordata is kining duha ka notochord and the nerve cord is the features are well represented throughout the adult life. So the third major group of chordates is, so the first Cephalochordata, and the third major group of chordates is the subphylum Vertebrata. So the subphylum Vertebrata, all vertebrates have a bony. So ang tanang vertebrates is bukugon. And then or cartilaginous backbone or vertebrate which surrounds the nerve cord. Yes, and a skull or scranium which endosses and protects the brain. So this is so easy. So niana siya nga ang skull or cranium which induces and protects the brain. So, di ba? Ang skull nato is mo na siya ang nagaprotect sa aton nga brain. So, in addition to have vertebrate and cranium, vertebrates also have red blood cells. So, naipula nga dugo. And then, a tail or remnants of a tail. Atoll, situated behind the anus, and often specialized. So, an often specialized sensory organs for seeing, hearing, and smiling. So, what I mean is situated behind the anus and often specialized sensory organs is for sa atong panglantaw, sa atong pagdungog, ug sa atong dawitawi smiling. So, we have the classification of the subphylum Vertebrata. So, what is the classification, the subphylum of the Vertebrata? So, number 1 is superclass Agnatha. So, what is superclass Agnatha? Without true jaws or paired appendages. So, without true. So, mabala na to, without true jaws. So, natay superclass Agnatha is we have na pod is class Mexini. So, what is class Mexini? Terminal mount with 4 pairs of tentacles. So, ang class Mexini is the terminal mount with 4 pairs of tentacles. So, we have brocal. So, wait for a while. Sorry for the distractions. So, the class Maxinis. So, we have tentacles, buccal, funnel absent, and the nasal sac with dactylopyrex. 5 to 15 pairs of gel pouches, slim glands, partially hermaphroditic, etc. Or example, hagfish and myxine. So, next, class Cephalasphedomaporpe is structural mount with horny teeth, nasal sac not connected to the mouth. 7 pairs of gel pouches, example, lamprey or ginatawag nato nga petromyzon. So, this is it. And the fourth, the superclass Natostomata. So, what is the superclass? The superclass Natostomata. So, Natostomata, joint feces, and all tetrapods with jaws and usually paired appendages. So, maana siya. And the fourth class, Chrodectes, streamel body with heterocercal tail. So, cartilaginous skeleton, 5 to 7 gels with with separate openings, no operculum, no swim bladder, etc. Cartilaginous fishes, sharks. So, ang example niya sa cartilaginous fishes is the shark, the stingrays, the whale shark. So, kay kabalo na magitaan so ang mga class Condictites is katuning mga the biggest fish. Like sa mga shark, whale shark, mao na siya. So, as we move to fifth class Osticates. So, what is class Osticates? Primitively fusiform body but variously modified, mostly ossified skeleton. So, ang iyang ginaingon is modified but mostly put is ossified skeleton. Single gel opening on each side, covered with operculum. So, swim bladder. or lung percent or etc. Like bony fish. So bony fishes such as milkfish or bangus. So or chanus pa sa mga scientific name. Tilapia, clownfish. So mao na ang mga class Osteichthyes. So nagkalahi-lahi ang mga classification of fishes. Like sa mga shark, lahi sad siya o classification. Usa ra siya sa mga subphylum but kuan sila nagkalahi-lahi tungod kay naay ko nga mga fishes and naa na say gagmay. So mao na siya. Class Apebelia. So ito thermic, tetrapods respiration by lungs, gels or skin, development to larval stage, skin moist, containing mucous glands, and lacking scales, etc. Frogs. So, maana siya or frogs or rana. Or tuds is bofo. Salamander is Ambestoma. So, we move on sa lain nga class Reptilia. So, ito tumaditira ectopdermic tetrapods possessing lungs. Embryo develops within shelled eggs. So, katong mga na-eye shell like sa mga kuol. So, that's it for today's lesson. So, ang class reptile is larval stage, skin dry, lacking mucous glands, and covered by epidermal scale, etc. Like snakes, lizards. Muna siya ang example. Snakes, mga bitin, mga lizards, alligators or alligator, crocodiles or crocodilos, or sea turtles, or pawikan. Sa ilaha, sa scientific name niya is Chelonia midas. So, Chelonia midas. So, that's it. So, we move on to another topic. So, class apes. So, what is class apes? Class apes, endodermic vertebrates with front lips modified for fight body, covered with feathers. So, ang class apes is katuning kuan, niana siya nga body covered with feathers. Like sa mga langgam. Scales on feet, Philippine monkey eating eagle. Like, ingon ana. So, Philippine monkey eating eagle. Or, Pitupopaga jefferia. Like chicken, duck, ostrich. So, mauna siya. Mauna ang class apes. Kanang na ay mga modified for flight kanang kanang mulupad, like ingon ana modified for flight. Kana sila mo'y mga class apes. So class Mammalia. So what is class Mammalia? Class Mammalia is ethnic vertebrates possessing mammary glands. So far, nasabtan na gud nato kung unsa ang class Mammalia. Possessing mammary glands, body more or less covered with hairs. So, covered with hairs like sa mga lion. So, well-developed brain. So, subclasses. Na ay subclasses is monotrimata. Egg-laying mammals. Mana siya egg-laying mammals. Monotrimata. Egg-laying mammals. So, na siya. Egg-laying mammals. So, that's it for today's So, and then, Marsupiala, so immature yang develop. So, ano sila? Kanang Marsupala, kanang wala pa kayo siya na-develop ang ihang or immature pa kaayo. Like sa mga bata, immature pa kaayo. So, like sa baka, na siya itoy, so, dili pa kayo siya. Immature ang tawag niya. So, Eutheria, placentals, cat, or felis, dog, or canis familiaris, pig, or sos, ang iyahang scientific name, polar bear, or Ursus maritimos, muna siya, and the others, mga animals. Subclasses na ang tawag nila. Ana. So, this is for it, the exercise number 6. So, let's move to the another topic. So, another topic, it's all about exercise number 7. External features and mount cavity of frog or toad. So, unsa man ni? External features and mount cavity of. So, mag-study ta sa cavity of frog. Mount cavity of frog. Iyahang kanang sayang baba. So, introduction. Frogs and toads are commonly used laboratory animals. So, in general, introductory zoology, they have many similarities to higher vertebrates both in form and structure. So, in siya, they have many similarities to higher vertebrates. So, now may kaanuhan good siya. Kanang same ragod. So, now, let's tackle about a secure. So, determine the genus, your specimen based on the characteristics mentioned below. So, this is the characteristics of frog and the toad. Frog is characterized by having a smooth and slimy bodies. Diba? Smooth, ikapon mo siya na atong mga baki. So, ang baki is smooth kaayo siya. Then, apoy roughly. Is katong paka, na apoy bullfrog, mao na siya. Dili po na siya ang makaunjud niya is katong bullfrog. So, frog, rana, vertigara, abound along aquatic or swampy areas. So, naana sila gapuyo sa mga kanal, sa mga talamnan. Ang toad is characterized by rough skin. So, ang toad, mao ni siya ang rough skin. Like paka, sa paka dyan ni siya. With numerous wart-like. Regulate test the common toad. So, maana siya. So for today's wart-like organism, the common toad. Bufo or Maripes is terrestrial in habitat. So, the first finger of the male frog or toad is swallowing during the breathing. So, what is toad? So, siya rough skin, good na siya. Sige. So, arito sa external, sulod sa paka. So, una na itong i-discuss is ang iyang head. But, before that, ato sang i-discuss ang unsay axial. Axial, composed of the head and the trunk together with the instinct neck. So, ang axial is nagakompose siya sa head and the trunk together with the instinct neck. Sayang, like, nagasumpay. So, siya. Ang head, so now, we tackled about the head, under parts. So, smooth, the triangular anterior tip of the head. So, ako ipakita sa inyo kung unsa ang snot. Sige. Snot. So, ang snot is triangular anterior tip of head. So, external nares. So, external nares, seeing nares or nostrils. So, mauna siya. And two small openings. So, that's it. Openings near the tip of the snot. Sige. So, nocitating membrane. Nocitating membrane, the transparent covering of the eyes which serves as the third eyelid. No. So, muna siya. This protects the eyes when the animal is underwater. So, di ba makabantay ta sa mga paka nga, nasa ilalim sa tubig. O niyang ilawat, if ilang mata. So, maano ta? Kanang ma-curious. O nga nung nakuan niya, makabuka na sila sa ilalom, no? Makaano rang ilahang mata. So, like this, mani ang necessitating membrane. So, mauna. Necessitating membrane is transparent covering of the eyes. So, mauna ang nag-cover kanang naasa gawas mo na sa gawas nila. So, near the tip of the snoot. I mean, diya sa ilahang eyes. So, this protects the eyes when the animal is under the water. So, mauna siya ang ga-protect sa ilang mata when they under the water. Maunang, and then, the upper narrow semicircular lower fold on each eye. Yes, so, ingon ana siya. So, ang snot, ako sang ipakita niyo kung unsa ang snot. So, snot. So, mauni ang mga snot. Like mga ano. So, mauni ang snot. Snot, mauna siya, the triangular anterior tip of head. So, mauna siya. Kanang ilahang mga kalahian na triangular na apoy mga lahi-lahi. So, orbit. Unsa ang orbit? Orbit, the socket in the skull which holds the eye. So, the socket, kabantay ka. So, akong ipakita sa inyo ha. So, kung sa mani ang nigawas. So, orbit is the socket to the skull which holds the eye. So, mauna siya. Tympanic membrane eardrum. So, ang uban nga tympanic membrane eardrum na ano siya dapit sa iyahang pagdulungog o sa iyahang dalunggan. A circular area on the skin located directly behind the eye. No, side of the eye. Behind the eye. Mauna siya. Parotid poison glands. So, mauna ang parotid. Two large swellings, one side. But just behind the eardrum. So, mauna ang parotid. Katong ginaingon nila nga makahilo poison glands. So, be careful. So, ari na sab kita sa laing parts sa external features sa frog. So, sa trach. So, ang trach is thorax or chest region, the anterior half. Muna ang thorax. Lumbar or abnormal region, the posterior half. So, mana siya. Appendicular composed of the limbs, forelimbs, and hindlimbs. So, ang forelimb, appendicular composed of the limbs and forelimbs and hindlimbs. So, naa siya'y free. Ang one is forelimbs. Each limb is divided into upper arm, forearm, hand, wrist, and 4 digits of 4 fingers. So, upper arm is the first segment which is attached to the trach. So, attached to the trunk. So, dili na siya trunk. Yes. So, mga ingon ani. Like that. So, ingon ana. No, muna siya mga trunk. Oh. Makita na to ni ang trunk. So, like that. So, muna siya. And then, middle forearm. Next segment immediately below the arm. So, below the arm. And then, carpos or rest next to the forearm. Manos or hand. Moni ang hand. Manos. Distal to the rest. So, fingers. How many fingers are there? So, mana siya. Hand clamp is also divided into thigh shaft or lower leg, ankle, foot, or 5 digits of toes and web. So, mana siya. Mano yung ato makita. Tie the first segment attached to the mass. So, web, membranous extensions of the skin connecting one to the other. So, mount cavity. So, ang mount cavity is open the frog's mouth by biting the jaws. So, mano siya by the following. Root of the mouth, upper tip hole, sulcus marginalis. So, a groove which runs throughout the extent of the upper jaw and receives the lower jaw when the mouth is closed. So, muna median. Subostral fossa, depression at the middle and anterior portion of the sulcus. Ang fulvinar, rostrate, slight elevations on each side of the median subostral fossa. Lateral subostral fossa. So, the greater part of the mouth roof is occupied by two bulges, which are the inward extension of the eyeball. So, sa ilahang mata. So, floor of the mouth. Excuse me. Sorry for the distractions. Floor of the mouth. So, lower jaw forms the rim of the mouth's floor. Is this where no teeth? So, dito sa wala yung teeth. So, tuberculum. The single elevation at the tip of the lower jaw. So, mana siya. Glottis is a slit-like opening at the middle of the lanyar prominence. So, mana siya. Kaning sa military teeth, internal nearest. So, mana ang parts sa frog. Head and mouth of a male bullfrog. So, mana siya ang sa bullfrog. Which means, ginakaw ni siya sa mga tao, apan, makahilo siya. The instructor, like that, muna siya ang head and mouth of a male bullfrog sa mga laki. Pagkita na to ang external na rest, upper eyelid, muna siya. So, that's it for the exercise number 7. Thank you for listening and I hope dahil mong nakuha ato nga topic. And I like it for the topic tungod kay kuan. Sada siya. Next, so mo ni ang parts sa external features mount of cavity of frog or tooth. So, di ba kung may tag frog is kuan siya smooth. Kung tooth rough mo na siya ang kalahian nila. I think ang frog is katong mga baki. When we say ang katong tooth is nagapuyo ni siya sa mga puan. So that's it. So exercise number 8, the skeletal system. So, dinhi na pud ta. We continue the topic. So, we tackled about the skeletal system. So, when you say, we have a skeletal system pod. So, sa frog po di ay. So, the skeleton nerves as one is to support our framework of the body. A firm surface for a muscle attachment for locomotion. Protection of soft parts and important organs. Site of manufacture of red blood impulses, ana. So, skeletal system contain the exoskeleton and endoskeleton. Mana siya. So, let's go. The skull of the tooth, Doral's view. So, foramen magnum. A large opening on the posterior end of the skull for the passage of the spinal cord. Mana siya ang foramen magnum. Exoccipal bones. Two flat bones bordering the two sides for the foramen magnum. They bear the occipital untacles, which are ventral and lateral projections to the foramen magnum. This articulate the skull with the atlas. So, ano siya? Protic bones anterior and lateral occipital. So, squamosals, hammer-shaped bones lateral for the protic. Ang spetamoid, a ring of bones anterior. And a premaxilla, two small teeth-bearing bones at the most anterior portion of the upper jaw. Parasponoid, the upper digger. So, the upper digger, muna siya. Parasponoid. Palastans, slender. Root-shaped bones extending laterally from the anterior of the pasperoid. And the other pterygoids, so lower jaw, familiarize it. The lower jaw is composed by the right and left halves. So, angulosplenial, the tooth component of the lower jaw. So, hyoid cartilage. So, hyoid cartilage is, this constitutes the visceral apparatus of the, from the thin, cartilaginous. Anterior carnoa or horns. So, sungay. The two long, slender anterior process arising from the anterolateral borders of the hyoid. So, alari process, small lateral expansions from anterolateral borders of the hyoid. Posterior and lateral to the anterior comma. Posterior comma, thyroid process. Thyroid process is posterior and medial to be the preceding part arising from the middle part of the posterior margin of the body. So, mana siya. So, let's go to the letter E. The vertebral column. It is the frog or the column that neighboring vertebrae are joined with each other by the zygapophysis, articulating process. So, that's it. So, atlas vertebra. The first vertebra is known at the atlas. It does not process any transverse process. It has an anterior. So, mauna siya ang mga parts sa na typical vertebra get unisolated. Typically, vertebra. Study the following parts. So, syndrome, a solid mass bone of the base. Mauna siya ang pinakasulid nga sa at the base sa syndrome. Neural arc arising from the laterodorsal. Neural spine, a projection arising from the mid-dorsal portion of the neural arc. So, transverse processes arise in the lateral portion of the vertebra at the neutral arc. So, Prezycoposis a pair of articulating process on anterior side of the ant. So far, corresponding pair articulating process. This is the 9th vertebra. It is characterized by transverse, absent, leaf flat expanded. Manang sarcal vertebra. So letter F, the sternum pectoral girdle. Sorry. This is a group of bones which support the anterior advantage. So, pectoral girdle is a group of bones and the supracapula pair of a features the dorsal part of girdle. They are cartilaginous scapula along bone below the supracapula and contains the glenoid fossa. Glapical, the smaller of the two bones found on the median ventral part. So, coragoid, the posterior of the two bones and forming the remaining part. Fenestra, the cavity between the clivet and the sternum. This is made to separate median portions, one interior and the other. So, epistemium and interior rounded. Muna siya mga parts sa sternum. Omostrium, Hesosterium, Cipesterium. So, muna siya furcline. Humerus, the single long bone of the upper arm is proximal and the head is rounded. So, muna siya pelvic curgi along with interior. So, transverse process of the sarcal vertebra. So, let's go to bupes. The triangular bone on the ventral side of the pelvic girdle with the forms. So, and like more. So that's it. The human skeleton via the model of the endoskeleton of man. Observe the common basic pattern with that of the tooth. Study and compare the human skeleton, both intact and disarticulated. So that's it for the exercise number. What's the exercise of this? Number 8. So thank you for that. So, muna yung exercise the skeletal system for frog. Endoskeleton level. So, muna siya. So far, siya. Yung human endoskeleton, di ba? So, na siya kalahian, na po siya kapariha. So, that's it. So, let's proceed the exercise number 9. The muscular system. So, the muscular system is concerned with the various types of movements. Ano siya? Skeletal muscle cells are skeletal and attached fibers. Ano siya? Material methods. The head and trunk musculate. Muscles of the head, mylohyoid, is a very thin sheet of the muscle that ventral surface of the head region. So, muscles of the head, dorsal aspect depressor, a broad muscle behind the tympanic ring. Assertion, caudal portion of the lower jaw. Action closes the mouth. A small muscle that extends from the masseter, a small muscle located in front of the tympanic ring. Abdominal muscles, rectus abdominis, through the muscles. External obliquus extreminos, a thin sheet of muscles which forms the outer layer of the body, while at the side of the focus. So internal oblique, another sheet of the oblique muscles internal to the preceding part. So throat in chest, sa chest na, chest muscles, ventral aspects. Deltoid, the triangular shaped muscles lies to the anterior border of the shoulder. So next to the preceding part of the arises from the mid-medial line. So, pectorals largely covers the chest region. This is divided into parts: anterior patellus, middle anteriors, and posterior. So, muna siya. Muscles of back and girdles dorsal aspect. So, lasticiums. So, sorry for interruption. And frastatos muscles covering for the outer surface. So, that's it. So, now let's proceed to the muscles of hand climb. Muscles of the hand climb is the tribes are anterior source of a large muscles covering the entire front of the eye. It has 3 heads. So, vastus extremus, rectus femoris anticus, vastus internus, adductor longus, sartorius, adductor manus. So, that's it. Muscles of the shank ventral aspects. So, turn the animal on its dorsal side and identify the muscles type. Flexor tarsal rector in a small, short muscle which covers the distal half of the sematidius, separates the semimembranous from the internus major. It is slender exposed muscle. So, a gluteus, a short muscle laying between the rectus femoris acticus and vastus. Muscles of the shank. So that's it for today's exercise number 9. So thank you for listening, and that's it. So, internal organs of the frog or tooth. So this is the last topic. The internal organs or collectivity called the viscera. So that's it. So, body wall and viscera. Okay? Firstly killed or preserve a toad on its back in deserting pan. Cut the skin first and then so many ang mga procedure. Letter A, skin, outermost covering of the body. Subcutaneous space in a thin piece filled with body fluid, the limb. Wala siya. So, the pectoral girdle and continue through the muscles of the lower jaw. Cut sideways. So, mo ni siyang paghimo sa aron nga mahapsay ang imong kuan sa paka. The internal organs like the coleomic cavity are lined by thin, smooth membrane. So, masyada jud siya is maka-laboratory kay dito gid masabit kung asa ni dapit. So, mesogastrium or ang stomach ni siya. Mesoprongus or lungs. Mesochromium, testes, mo ni siya ang sa part sa frogs, the organs. So, oviduct, mo ni ang mesotobarium, ovaries, mesobarium, mesothelium, mesentery, proper, small intestine. So, look for the following organs lying in the coleomic cavity. So, number 1 is ang heart. Tiny pear-shaped organ at the anterior portion enclosed in the paratracheal cavity of the sac, the reticulum. So, muna siya, time it will take until they cease to beat. So, liver, reddish brown organ near the heart party. So, muna siya ang liver, ano siya? Reddish brown. Ang gallbladder is thin, dayon, specular, greenish Muna ang gallbladder nila greenish. And then the esophagus extending, from the mouth cavity to the stomach. Observe. Stomach enlarged the chamber along the leaf dorsal. So, small intestine, muna siya ang mga tinai. From the pyrus down to the intestine. So, large intestine, muna siyang kuan sa terminal portion on the continuous width to small intestine. So, cloaca enlarges the chamber on the lower portion. Ang spleen, small reddish. Gamay siya, dayon reddish. Wala siya, ang pancreas, small irregularly shaped, yellowish. So, ang pancreas is yellowish. Ang kidney in long based on the dorsal body. So, di na tumabaan kung unsa. Basta maka-laboratory. Corpora, adipose, or fat bodies. Two yellowish finger-like organs attached to the anterior. Urinary bladder, bulbed membranous, sac originating from the ventral of the cloaca. Ovaries, two lateral organs in the abdomen of the female. So, that's it for this. So, oviducts pre-cold with the tubes found lateral of the kidney or close to each ovary. Sontis is pair of which yellowish, sweetish, yellowish oval and beans shape. So, mauna siya. And this is for today's discussion. So, mauni ang mga organs of the frog. So, makita nato ang gross anatomy. The female organelle. So, male organelle system. So, that's it for today's. So, appendix. Anatomical regions. Familiarize the following terms used to refer the regions of the body of animals. Be sure that to know which terms applicable for specific animals. Dorsal is the back of animals, likod. And then, ventral, the belly of animal, lower surface of katong ragtiyan, dagay siguro ni. Then, anterior, the head end of the quadrupeds, the front of mana siya. Dayon, anterior, posterior, medial or median, lateral, superior, inferior, cephalic or cephalid, perineal, caudal, central, oral, aboral, proximal, distal, superficial, deep, and subcutaneous, palmar, plantar. Muna siya for anatomical regions. So, familiarize it and the specific applicable. So, plans refers to the imaginary surface dividing the body into different regions. So, median or mediasagittal plane, a vertical longitudinal plane passing through the center from the base. So, dividing the body into unequal right and left portions. So, frontal or coronal plane, any longitudinal section perpendicular to the median plane and the parallel to the ventral and the dorsal surfaces. So, transverse plane cross-section cuts through the body perpendicularly to frontal and sagittal planes would be in interior, posterior, or superior interior portions. So, axis singular or axis refers the imaginary lines passing through a certain point of the body. So, longitudinal or anterior posterior axis, the line extending from the head to tail or along the length of the body. So, sagittal or any line parallel to the longitudinal plane extending from the dorsal ventral surfaces. Transverse medial lateral axis, any line in the transverse plane running from the side to sides. So, symmetry. Symmetry refers to the repetition of parts opposite sides of the plane so that equally halves are produced by the dividing along a plane or axis. Asymmetrical without symmetry or spongize. Radial. Similar parts are arranged around a central axis. Example, jellyfish, sea stars, sea organs. So, bipedal, largely arranged parts lying on one side of the median, longitudinal plane. So, bilateral, the right and left parts of the body are identical when a median sagittal plane cuts the body. Homo sapiens. So, for today, mo ni siya. Front plane, median plane sa tao. Transverse plane. Appendix figure 1.1. The human body standard. So, that's all for today's. Thank you.